Sante Sana Warden. Please, thank you. Another word we say here in Harambe, it's twin day. That means let's go. Jambo, my name is Amber. I'll be your safari guide as we travel to the Harambe Wildlife Preserve. Now, I am really driving this truck. We're not on a track. It gets quite bumpy out there, so please make sure we're staying seated, keeping all those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck at all times. As for your safety, friends, we also want to be very respectful to the animals we're going to see today. They have pretty sensitive hearing. Loud noises we make might scare them away. Sometimes they do get pretty close to the truck, which makes for really good pictures. On the right, they're kind of hiding behind the bushes. The okapi, really showing camouflage that a lot of these animals have in the forest. You can't really see their legs, but it kind of looks like they're related to the zebra, if you were able to. But they are the closest relative to the giraffes. They have a lot of the same characteristics as them. Like their tongues, they got pretty long tongues. They use that to get the vegetation off the trees and bushes. And, you know, sometimes they might even lick their own eyeballs or inside their noses. Right on the left is the black rhino. There's one here, and then there's one here up on the hill. The black rhino is solitary, so they like to be by themselves. Not very social. You're not going to find them in groups. They are the smallest of the rhinos, weighing out about 3,000 pounds. Now to you, that seems quite large. But for a rhino, that's pretty small. Here on the right is the greater kudu on the hill. When they stand up, they're about 5 feet at the shoulder and can jump over 8 feet. You can tell that those are females because they don't have horns. Only males have them and can grow about 6 feet. Here on the left are the bongos. They're known as the ghosts of the forest. They're really good at that camouflage, so they usually are rarely seen. And the way that their horns are slanted back help them get through the forest, help them part the ways. And then that is the saddle-tailed stork. Now they don't squawk like most birds do. They don't have any vocal cords. So the way that they communicate with each other is going to be by rattling their bills back and forth. They also have a pretty long wingspan. It's about 7 to 9 feet long. That's about the same size as the canopy on top of this truck. Now there's the pigback pelicans over here as well. They have that same long wingspan. And their backs are pink. That's how they get their names. It gets brighter during mating season. And of course there are those Nile hippos. They have a nickname. They're known as the most dangerous animal in Africa. It can be quite territorial, quite brutal with their teeth. You can kind of see them there. They grow about 18 inches long. They use those for defense. They don't really need them to eat since they're herbivores. And then there's a bloat of them on the left. That's what you call a group, a bloat. They can hold their breath for about 8 minutes at a time. When their ears are outside of the water, not only can they hear above the water, they can also hear below. They're going to be able to feel and hear the vibrations from below, so if anything is trying to come to them, they'll be able to hear it. They will usually stay mostly in the water. That's going to be how they get around. Instead of swimming, they will sink to the bottom, kind of pushing off the ground and gliding through the water. Not the best swimmers, but they're also pretty fast on land too. On the left are the Nile crocodiles. They are the largest of the crocodilian species. They can get over 16 feet long. Male crocodiles usually do get much larger than the females. Some over 20 feet long. Now crocodiles have quite the powerful bites. Helps them break the bones of their prey. Their prey usually consists of fish or smaller animals, but they can be quite territorial. Just like those hippos, really anything that gets in their way could become their next meal. Now, Mama crocodile is very protective of her young. If there's any danger that comes near, she actually puts the eggs in her mouth and will run away, just to help protect them. Or, like, when they're born too, they'll just put them in their mouth so they can run away. Now here in the savannah, these animals can freely roam. So always make sure you're ready with your cameras. I'm not able to stop for every single one, and they definitely don't stop for your pictures. Sometimes we may have to stop for them. They have the right of way. And they might run in front of my truck, so I might have to stop rather suddenly. So just be aware of that. If you got anything in your hands, make sure you have a really good grip. If you are to drop anything outside of the truck, I cannot stop and get it. Already you can see those Maasai giraffes, even some Hartman's mountain zebras. Those two species, even though they're completely different, they do have a couple similarities. One being their very unique patterns, so the giraffe spots and the zebra stripes. You're not going to find two that have the same. It's kind of like your fingerprints are unique to you. Those are their fingerprints, their spots and stripes. So you're not going to find two of them that have the same. They also can both walk and run within the first hour of their birth. Zebras can stand within the first 10 minutes. Now for most species of zebras, if you look at their noses, that's how you can tell what color their actual skin is, not their stripes. For these ones, we can tell that they're black with white stripes because their nose is black. A group of zebras, this is one of my favorite facts about them, is that they're called a dazzle. It's not necessarily camouflage in the sense that it, camouflages them from other animals, but it does stop predators from being able to find just one within the group, because their stripes all blend together, making it harder for them to find just one within the group. Kind of dazzling. Something over there, but I can't see. Here on the left, over by the hay, is the sable antelope. They are the logo for the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. They were chosen for their bravery. They're always going to fight back rather than run away, using those curved back horns of theirs, whether that be even animals in front of them or trying to jump on their backs. They'll use those to protect themselves. They're also pretty good back scratchers. If you look right below their eyes, they have these black markings. We like to call them nature sunglasses. They're going to help reflect the sun out of their eyes. There is another animal here on the reserve that has these same natural sunglasses. So if you see them, I'll make sure to point that out. A group of giraffes is called a tower because they do tower over everyone. They are the tallest land animals. Can get about 18 to 20 feet tall. And when they're born already, they can be about 6 feet. Now because of those long legs, it does make it harder for the giraffe to stand up very quickly, which if an animal is sneaking up from behind them, that's a pretty dangerous position for them to put themselves in. So they're going to do everything standing up. That includes eating, sleeping, drinking, and even when they give birth. Here's another zebra here on the left. So pretty. Giraffes have a very flexible necks. They use that, of course, to get that high vegetation off those trees, as well as their long tongue. Their tongue can grow about 18 inches long. But they have the same amount of neck bones as we as humans. They have 7. Just quite larger, of course. But they also use that neck for defense. They'll swing it back and forth, kind of like a bat. They also use their back 2 legs. Those can be pretty powerful as well. these beautiful African elephants. This is the African savanna. We can tell that they're part of the African elephant family because of their ears. They kind of look like they're in the shape of the continent Africa. They're flapping them back and forth a little. That helps decrease their body temperature by about 15 degrees. It's kind of like their own form of air conditioning. On the left are the mandrills. Mandrills are the largest monkeys. They have the red and blue on their face. The brighter and more vibrant that is shows how much dominance they have within the group. If you've seen The Lion King, Rafiki is a mandrill. He has almost everything they have except his gray fur. And they gave him a long tail instead of a short tail like a mandrill. You're using that long chunk of theirs for food. They put one ear out. They were trying to hear something. They can actually hear about 6 miles away. 6 miles, yeah. One thing in particular that they can hear very well is bees. Elephants actually don't like bees. The closer they get to them, the more it hurts their ears, and the more likely they're going to get stung. They're actually go the opposite direction if they hear them. Now, farmers actually took advantage of the elephants not liking bees, and they would build bee fences around their crops. There was a lot of elephants getting into their crops and destroying them, so once they found out they didn't like bees, they built those bee fences. It was a safe way to keep the elephants out without hurting them, but it also gave them an extra income. They could sell the honey from the bees. Both bees and elephants are very important to the environment. This is a male. I can tell because they are the largest elephant here on the reserve. He's 35 years old, I believe. They can live up to over 40 years. In like reserves and these protected lands, because they don't have all those, trials and tribulations of, deforestation and with poachers. They are very safe here and very well taken care of. So they do last. I thought the word I wanted to use. They do survive longer in these protected lands. They're the largest land mammals. And they do have the longest gestational period out of any animal, any human for that matter. They are going to be pregnant for 22 months, almost 2 years, friends. That's why elephant conservation is so important, since it does take them so long. But even with that long gestational period, a mother is going to have about 15 calves through her whole entire lifetime. It's a flamboyance of greater flamingos. You do get the pink color by eating lots of brine shrimp. It's high in keratin. It takes them about 1.5 to 2 years to get their full pink, but they are all born gray, so they'll start to lose those gray feathers once they start eating the keratin. The colorful creatures do have a very good balance, low balance on their leg, even while sleeping. They also do it to regulate their body temperature. So when they put the leg outside of the water, it's kind of like when you're underneath the covers and you put a leg outside the blanket. It's the same thing. Another herd of elephants, another name for a herd of elephants is a parade. Because they kind of parade behind each other. there's 3 types that you can see out in the wild. There's a family, which all elephants start out in, and then there's a matriarchy. Females will stick together, and then a male is either going to choose to go out on their own or they're going to join a bachelor herd. That's all males. Yeah, there is ostrich. We'll see them over there.
There's ostrich that broke the glass over there.
Heading into big cat territory. On the left you might see some cheetahs. The fastest land animals, there they are. They get from 0 to 60 in just 3 seconds. But they are sprinters, they cannot maintain that speed very long. So they have to make sure they time it out just perfectly. Because if they miss, they have to wait another 45 minutes until they can get back up to their speed again. They are that other animal that I was talking about that has those natural sunglasses. We call them black teardrops as well. Helps reflect the sun out of their eyes so they can better hunt during the day. They're not the only big cat that hunts during the day, but they're one of the very few. All others are usually going to do it at nighttime, making them nocturnal, including this next one. If they're out, the lion, they're nocturnal. Their eyesight at night is about 6 times greater than it is during the day. During the day, their eyesight is like ours as humans. Some white rhinos over here, the largest of the rhinos. They weigh about 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. There's a little one there. I believe that's a girl, if I'm not wrong. And they are about a year and a month old, I believe. And already they weigh over 700 pounds. Mm-hmm.
Look, there's this guy. Sable, and look at that little guy.
Ostriches are the largest birds. They can't fly with their wings though. Instead they use them to help change direction. They are known as the fastest thing on 2 legs. They can go over 40 miles per hour. A beautiful male lion. Of course you can tell by his mane. And then the 2 lionesses, they are sisters. So it's a little family, a little pride. The females actually do the majority of the hunting. Which, like I said, they do it at nighttime. They'll bring back the food for the whole pride. So warthogs on the left, they kind of blending in with the branch there, so I didn't really see them at first, but they are the largest of the burrowing animals. Use their tusks to build their burrows and also for protection. Here's the ostrich again. All the ostrich here are females. You can tell based off their brown feathers. Some animals here, they have different characteristics that you can tell if they're male or female. Here at the warden's post, there's some Nigerian dwarf goats hanging out, showing off their amazing balance. helps them climb. They'll climb on anything and everything they can get up onto. They'll also put their heads together, spar with their horns. All these behaviors help them mature and assert their dominance within a group. They're domesticated for their milk. It's very high in nutrients. It also can be sold throughout the villages, help boost the economy. It's just the way the shows is. Humans and animals can live together peacefully. Almost all the animals you've seen today on the reserve are endangered, but don't worry, there's lots of things that you can do in your own homes and throughout your communities that are going to help them all around the world. That's by doing the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now, something that I'm personally very passionate about is recycling my old electronics for elephants. Our electronics are made from a mineral called coltan, which is mined in their territories. So when they mine for it, it unfortunately does hurt their habitats. We as humans are the elephant's greatest predators, so when we donate our old devices to places like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, it really helps make a difference. They'll be able to reuse that coltan and make it into new devices or remanufacture devices. That's where we come in. Instead of buying brand new ones, we can get those manufactured devices, which helps out the elephants. They're beautiful, gentle giants. Now gather those belongings. We are approaching our docks. You don't have to come all the way back to Africa because you forgot something. Now we don't like saying goodbye. Instead, we're gonna say Kwaharino. That means to go well. So go well, friends. Go wild. Go make a difference out there. Go drink some water. Important to stay hydrated. Again, my name is Amber. It's been a pleasure being your guide today. I had a good time. Hopefully you did too. Have a great rest of your day here at Animal Kingdom. If you got any questions, just come up to my window. I love questions.